For the Detroit Lions secondary, they re-signed Emmanuel Moseley. No details on the contract, but it's a one-year deal. The guy they brought in last year to be CB1 until he tore his other ACL. First game back from tearing his left ACL. How we feel about that, Sven?
I mean, I got glass bones and paper skin. You know, every night I break my legs, and every morning I break my arms. At night I just lie in bed until the heart attacks put me to sleep. It's tough, man. I'd love to see the number attached to it. I'd assume it's very, 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 very low. Like, it better be very, 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 very low, or I'm going to be kind of upset. But it's, if you pay him the veteran minimum and he comes in and he doesn't trip on a blade of grass and break his leg, then maybe he'll be a good addition to this team. You know, if he can play more than 3 snaps in a season, he can be a good player. But fuck, Brad, like,
there's no downside. There's nothing to say about.
The downside is he breaks his leg again, or he tears his ACL again, and we paid him another deal and he did nothing for us again.
But
that's the downside, and it's a pretty reasonable downside because in the past 2 years it's happened twice, and he hasn't played more than 3 snaps in a Lions uniform, and you gave him a second deal. It's not a downside to pay the guy and him not play at all,
because it's not how it works. If you get hurt on those one-year deals, there's probably heavy incentives. So like when it comes to, like, if you actually play the games, right? That's one of the things that increases the cap space. And they got like
I don't want them to just be like, the downside is them not going in another guy.
There is no downside to this deal whatsoever. You're signing Emmanuel Moseley, a guy who could be your cornerback 1 on your team, to at the worst case scenario, a depth piece where if he does get hurt, he's not getting paid anything crazy.
Who knows if he can be a cornerback 1 on a team coming off of 2 ACL tears? Who knows if he can play more than 3 snaps in a season without tearing another ligament? Like, the downside for me is them being like, okay, we got Emmanuel Moseley, now we don't have to go get somebody else because we got Emmanuel Moseley. And then you have a Kendall Vildor. It was the case last year. It was the exact same case last year.
It was not the exact same case last year. Because last year wasn't coming off of 2 torn ACLs.
Who was the other cornerback you signed last year? You think
Brad Holmes is going to sign Emmanuel Moseley and be like, yep, we're good here now. Let's go draft a guard at the first round.
I hope not.
No, it's not I hope not.
That's what he did last year.
What do you think this is?
He signed Emmanuel Moseley off of an ACL tear last year and was like, all right, that's our cornerback 1. And then 2-3 snaps into his season, he's down for the rest of the year, and you have Kendall Vildor playing snaps in the NFC Championship game.
He's literally coming off of 2 ACLs. He's not signing him and banking on him to be CB1 and or CB2.
He did it off of 1 ACL last year.
It's a depth move.
We're doubling down.
He wasn't coming off of 2 ACL tears.
Okay, he was coming off of 1 ACL tear. It's not a different scenario.
It's a different scenario completely. 2 ACLs versus 1 ACL. On the top of my head, on the count of my hand, I could name you 1 athlete who's done it. 1 NFL athlete, and that's Odell Beckham.
Okay, so signing that isn't a downside?
No, but you're trying to say it's the same exact situation. It's not at all. He's coming off 2 ACLs. Brad Holmes isn't signing him to be the CB1. I mean, there's a hope that he could be the CB1. There's the upside there, yes, but he's not. All right, we're all set there.
There is no thought in my mind, no reasonable thought in my mind that Emmanuel Moseley will be the CB1 for the Lions next year. That will not happen.
Why are you acting like then that's the only move he's making? Why is that a fear in your mind?
I'm not saying. I'm just saying I hope it's not. I hope it's not. You need to bring in a guy who's going to play more than 3 snaps, because I don't want to see undrafted free agents playing meaningful snaps in the NFC Championship game. I don't. I can't see that happen again.
And that's not the case. That's what I'm saying. There's no downside. This is a depth move. He's not getting paid a ton of money. Yeah, it's a 1-year deal. He has the upside of being a CB1. If it works out, who's to say? At the very least, I'd rather have him out there as my depth piece than Kendall Vildor. I mean, there's snaps of him out there going toe-to-toe with Devontae Adams. That's with Aaron Rodgers as quarterback. Like, this guy, when he's healthy,
5 years ago, when he was healthy.
But there's no downside to it, is what I'm saying. Like, that's not part of the conversation. Like, if he gets hurt, he gets hurt. It's whatever. But the deal is more than likely incentive-laden. It's probably a veteran minimum I mean, even a little bit more than that.
You probably could have got Kendall Vildor for the same price that you got Emmanuel Moseley.
Okay, that's a great deal.
I would have rather had Kendall Vildor.
No, you wouldn't, because pound for pound, Emmanuel Moseley is a better quarterback
than
Kendall Vildor. Pound for pound,
Emmanuel Moseley sitting on the bench in a hoodie, and Kendall Vildor has a helmet on playing snaps. I think that's more valuable if you got a guy out there that actually plays football rather than the dude sitting on the bench with 2 bum knees.
That's not a completely hypothetical scenario. Like a pound for pound as a player.
It happen. It's not hypothetical.
Pound for pound as a player, Emmanuel Moseley is a better football player than Kendall Vildor.
Pound for pound as a player, Emmanuel Moseley can't get on the field.
So if you sign him on the similar or same deal that you signed Kendall Vildor to, sorry, bud, that's a win. There's no downside to it whatsoever. And you're still going to continue to address the quarterback situation, just as it's been rumored and speculated Detroit Lions will be.
The downside to it is he's doing what he did last year and the year before that, which is sitting on the sideline not wearing a helmet.
To sit here and be upset about it is just, it's just stupid to me. That just makes no sense. Oh, but the downside, like I'm not even looking at that.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from because you said you'd pay him $4 million a year, which is absolutely ludicrous.
If he signed a deal, it was up to $4 million a deal. I think that makes sense. If he stay healthy, that's what he plays to.
If he can stay healthy,
in a similar situation, the deal that he was signed to last year, he wasn't paid the full amount he was signed to. It's because guess what? He got hurt. That's how these things work. You don't just sign your deal unless you're like an all-star guy and you got the guaranteed money in there. It's a 1-year prove-it deal. Another 1-year prove-it deal. That's after he didn't prove it the previous year. It's a team-friendly deal. There's just literally no downside to it. There's just nothing to bitch about. There's nothing to complain about.
The downside to it is I want my depth cornerback, my emergency cornerback. If that's what he is, if he is your emergency quarterback, he's your cornerback 3 that in case somebody you actually have faith in playing gets hurt, he's got to go in. I'd rather have it a guy that doesn't have 2 ACL tears in 2 years. A guy that played 3 snaps for you and then was out for the rest of the year. I'd rather have it be a guy that I have confidence in that's body can hold up and play games if you need him to. I have absolutely zero confidence in Emmanuel Moseley being able to play more than 2 games for the Detroit Lions if you need him to.
And I'm not saying pretend like his injury history like doesn't exist. It's definitely like there, but like to sit here and like bitch like that's the final move made at the cornerback spot. That's how Brad Holmes, Detroit Lions are addressing the cornerback spot, where the guy had their 2 torn ACLs heading into a year where they have the mindset of competing for a Super Bowl. That's just it's crazy. It's a depth piece. It's a 1-year deal. It's probably incentive laden where you're like if he gets hurt or doesn't play a certain amount of games, a certain amount of snaps, the rest of that money's not being used. Like it's just there's no negative to it. They're still going to address the cornerback spot, whether it's for the draft or free agency and or trade. And I'm still of the mind of they're going to grab. I don't want to say a superstar per se, but a piece that you can rely on, the piece that you're looking for, that's still definitely looking for that. And Emmanuel Moseley isn't that.
You can't even have him play special teams because he's made of glass. And if he plays 2 special team snaps and breaks his leg, what happens next? I'd rather have. If this is a guy you don't want him, this is a guy you don't want to play. Is what you signed him for? Is a guy you don't want to see in the field. I don't understand
though, bro. Is you can still bring in Kendall. Like he's signed to such a little deal right now.
How do we know? We don't know what it is yet. The money hasn't come out yet,
brother. What do you think it's going to be?
I don't know. You were expecting $4 million.
There's no way you think it's like a monstrous deal where you can't bring back he and Kendall Vildor as your depth.
Well, they're not going to. They already let Kendall Vildor and Jerry Jacobs walk.
Well, that's not to say they're
and
not
I would rather have either of those guys right now
Jerry
than
Jacobs,
Moseley.
yeah, he's probably let walk because he put the full like, okay, I'm going, moving on, whatever. There's a world where Kendall Vildor returns to Detroit Lions. It's okay, hey, I'm a veteran guy. Let me go and see my options. Like that's probably what's going on. I mean, shit, we're not even to the point where free agency is hit where we know if he's getting brought back or not. But the amount of money they're paying him, you could pay him like it's just, you're talking $1 to $2 million, like $4 million at most. That's with incentives. Like this is
I would rather pay that to Kendall Vildor or Jerry Jacobs.
But you can literally bring both of them back. Like
why would you then? Why would you? Why would you bring all 3 of them back?
They said they want to address this team with depth. They're going to throw money at depth. They're not going to throw
So you want to sign all 3 of those guys?
Yes. Why wouldn't you?
You don't need all 3 of those.
Who's the third guy you're talking about?
Jerry Jacobs, Kendall Vildor, and Emmanuel Moseley.
Listen, I wish the best for Jerry Jacobs. Jerry Jacobs had phenomenal moments here, and I'm very proud of what he did here in Detroit. No. But Kendall Vildor?
So you'd rather have Emmanuel Moseley than Jerry Jacobs as one of your backup cornerbacks?
Yes, absolutely.
I see. I'm not there. I've seen Jerry Jacobs on the field. I've seen Jerry Jacobs for the Lions make interceptions, make plays, make things happen. What I've seen Emmanuel Moseley do for the Lions is play 2 snaps and then be done for the rest of the year.
And that's fine. I've seen Emmanuel Moseley make plays in the NFC Conference Championship.
3 years ago.
Like that's what he is. He's a better player pound for pound when healthy. Now the question is, can he be healthy? But
that's
at a discount deal, that makes no sense to like try to be upset about it. And then on top of that too, you made the NFC Conference Championship with Kendall Vildor at the starting spot. You could bring both of them back, discounted, and then still address the cornerback situation. And then you have like a phenomenal cohesiveness with guys that know your system now with both of them. Cohesion? Cohesive isn't a word? Cohesiveness isn't a word?
Cohesion.
Can we find that out? Chat, I don't care. Either way, regardless, you have 2 guys that know your system, both on discount deals, and you're still going to address the quarterback situation. Again, I think it's going to be through trade. I mean, I'm hoping it's through trade because I got my eyes on Marshawn Lattimore. But, yes, I'd rather have him as my backup. And, I can bring them both.
I'd just rather have guys that play, personally. I want guys that play on the field.
Well, Emmanuel Moseley played, and he got that deal from Brad Holmes, who you trust so much for a reason, right? Because he's pretty good when he does play.
Well, yeah, and that's a fault of Brad Holmes is he does sign a lot of injured players, and he continues to do that.
And the Detroit Lions went to the NFC Conference Championship last year, so
yeah, and they would have gone further if they had somebody other than unrestricted free agent starting at cornerback for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, you can have both guys, and it doesn't hurt you at all. It's just nothing to be upset about. It really doesn't. You could literally bring back him and Vildor and then go and get your other guy.